Hello and welcome to the ProducePodcast, episode 4. Here at the ProducePodcast, we bloom like flowers to seed the future group of seeded fruit.
Okay.
That's the intro today.
Okay.
Definitely didn't come up with that on the fly.
Yeah, okay. Hello, everybody. My name's Mongo.
I'm Pear. We haven't recorded this in a full week. We had to take last week off.
Yeah.
Well,
And we're still not 100% right now.
I am. I'm totally fine.
Well, I'm not. I'm sitting in a weird position because of many reasons of me being just a complete wreck of a body, a shell of a human being.
Man, that's not great. What happened?
Well, we don't have COVID. We did the test, and we do not have COVID. But I'm still sick, and I usually get really sick once a year during this time of year, like winter. And recently, my neck has been giving out pretty often and hurting a lot, and it's just been awful. So, if I end up dead within the next couple of weeks, I guess you guys know why.
This is not a great way to start. This is a very depressing note to start on.
I mean, hey, who said it had to be sunshine and rainbows?
Also, neck. I thought you were a mango.
What's the joke?
Mangoes don't have necks.
Amazing.
It's not really a joke.
Comedy.
It's very serious. You're not anatomically correct.
You're not anatomically correct.
Well, anyway, I'm here to actually start this podcast off properly.
Okay.
So, yeah, we had COVID testing because a close relative of mine has COVID. They were tested with it, and they tested positive.
Mm-hmm.
So we went and got tested. That's why there was no episode last Wednesday through Saturday.
Yeah.
We're actually pre-recording this. I look forward to tomorrow's episode. There will be an episode on Thursday, so that's really cool. That's different. 2 episodes of the day before and after. You get like a double. And Thanksgiving should be very special because I imagine we're going to be recording with all of the fruit cast.
Yeah.
Or like 90% of them at least.
It'll probably won't be a really long episode because I don't think we could keep everybody sitting still and not yelling for more than like 30 minutes top.
I mean, we have to make sure each podcast is at least an hour.
I know, but do you think you can get everybody to sit still and talk civilly?
Oh, no, not civilly. I can't expect that out of them.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
But I can say it will be an hour long.
Yeah,
I will force everyone to stay in the room.
Yeah, but I really don't think everybody's gonna want to sit still with how everybody is.
I think Tomato will probably fight me on continuing or not, and Plum will get sick of it after a while, and Banana will start crying. But other than that, I think it'll be great. I
feel like Banana will just kind of spaz out in the sense of just being like, you know, I don't know how to describe it, but he'll be the same way on video calls. Like, you're talking to him, and he just starts talking about stuff while you're talking to him.
That's what bananas do best, though. They just start talking, and they don't really stop. But that's probably perfect for a podcast anyway.
I really don't think it's going to work out very well, but I guess we can give it a shot.
You have no faith that
No.
You didn't even let me finish.
Okay, continue.
You have no faith that a podcast with all of us would go well?
No.
You're answering very quickly. You sure you don't want to think about it at all? You don't want to, think?
No. I don't need to think about it.
That's very disrespectful. I mean, I feel like we do a pretty good job.
I think, yes, we do. We, not to pat ourselves on the back or anything. Sorry, I'm having trouble breathing. But, I don't think everybody altogether will have the attention span and the patience to sit and talk.
I mean, we had Apple here before and it worked fine. I mean,
yeah, but that's Apple. That's one apple out of the bunch.
Well, they're not apples. So, yeah, you're right.
Exactly.
And not out of the bunch. We're getting all unique sides of every corner of the world.
Man.
A taste of every fruit, if you will.
I don't think it's really gonna work, but we'll see. It'll be fun. It'll definitely be fun, but I just don't know. I don't think it's gonna be. It's gonna be an awful episode, I feel. In terms of sound quality.
Well, even in sound quality, at least look forward to every single member. You'll have pear, mango, strawberry, banana, tomato, plum.
Maybe not avocado.
And yeah, maybe or maybe not avocado.
You should text him and yell at him. He'll probably have an excuse, though.
He always has an excuse. That's why he's an avocado.
Yeah, but we'll just keep texting him every day.
Are you assuming his... Never mind, I'm not going to do that. But, I mean, that's like basically our entire cast.
Yeah,
besides
cherry and grape.
Cherry and grape, though, are a special case. They'll be like an extra rare.
Yeah, I don't think we'll ever have grape, but like...
Possibly cherry.
Yeah.
I could see cherry in the future, but maybe
that'd be a
not
pretty
grape.
epic, honestly.
You two could run a podcast by yourselves, cherry and mango.
No, I don't think that would work.
The cherry mango surprise.
Man.
Sounds like a sexual thing.
Yeah. Don't say things.
Yeah, I want a cherry mango surprise.
Okay. Just shut up.
Do you want me to get into the first topic so you can stop this?
I'll stop you.
That didn't answer my question. We have to make sure this podcast is bumping. We got to get back in the flow of it. We're not in the flow anymore to make this work right.
Oh, I'm also feeling under the weather, as they say.
Oh, is that a JoJo reference? It's actually called Heavy Weather.
Get to the first fucking topic before I fucking strangle you.
So, do you want me to start anime-wise or just general things?
I think as a general rule, we usually keep anime to the end.
Well, normally we start with food stuff.
Yeah.
I don't really have a food question this time, though. Do you have any food things you
Well,
wouldn't?
I have my ice cream
That's food.
theorem.
I'm down with that one.
Or whatever.
All right.
So basically, if you buy, like, ice cream from, like, an ice cream shop, like, you know, you go in and, like, can I get a cone with, like, 3 scoops, you know, whatever. It's a scam. I feel like it's, like, 50% a scam. And let me explain my reasoning.
Yeah, because I don't understand this myself.
You can order as many scoops of ice cream as you want, but that's your fault. But if they specifically advertise, like, 10 scoops or, like, more than 3 scoops, if they're like, oh, get, like, 5 scoops for, like, this much money, that's a scam. That's completely a scam.
How is that a scam? You're getting the amount of ice cream that you asked for.
Because if you're eating it by yourself, there's no way that you can finish it without it all melting.
Well,
especially in a cone.
I mean, you could say the same thing if you buy, like, a loaf of bread. It's like, oh, man, this loaf of bread's great. There's no way I can finish it by myself. Oh, shit, now it went stale.
Well, you can have that within, like, multiple days. Ice cream is literally less than an hour.
Except unless you put it in the freezer.
Yeah, but most of the time you're out. You're not, like... Excuse me. If you're out walking around at, like, a strip mall or whatever, then you're not getting ice cream and then going straight home. If you're going to, like, a fast food restaurant and you're like, can I have a milkshake? Then I understand, like, okay, halfway done with this, just put it in the freezer.
Then how do you expect them to, like, really change what they're doing out? You expect them to price it lower than it would be if you actually paid a full thing of ice cream?
No, I'm just saying the concept of ice cream is just a scam.
That's so ridiculous. I don't agree with that at all.
If they advertise, like, a lot of ice cream, like, and not just, like, oh, a tub of ice cream, go home, like, 5 scoops of ice cream for yourself, that's a scam. Like, the food thing that you always show me, the company that showed... God, I'm really bad right now.
You talking about Cold Stone?
No, the videos of, like, the weird shit, the weird
Food Insider?
Like, when they put, like, 5 scoops of ice cream, wrap it in fucking, like, cotton candy, and, like, all this other shit. Like, that's a fucking scam.
Yeah, but that's, like, an actual, like, restaurant establishment sort of thing where you go in specifically for that crazy thing that you pay $20 for.
Yeah, but still, if you're going in by alone, you get 5 scoops of ice cream. You're not going home right away. That's going to melt. You're not going to eat all of that.
Well, for places like that, though, it's more of the novelty. But, like, are you also including that if you went to, like, a Dairy Queen and just got a Blizzard?
No, because, like, most people are physically capable of eating, like, their, I'm sorry. I don't know if this is actually a good idea to do the podcast because of, like, I can't think very well. Or, like, ice cream. Dairy Queen. Because most of the time you could either finish that, or, like I said, you go to a restaurant, like a fast food restaurant, you get halfway done with it, just go home and put it in the freezer. Like, most of the time, the small cups that aren't, not even the small cups, but most of the time, the cups that are regular sized, you can eat that by yourself without it melting.
So your main problem is, like, if you get a cone specifically
If you get too much for one person, it's a scam.
But that's relative to the person. Like, you can't expect that with every single thing you buy.
What do you mean?
Like, no matter what you do, if you buy a food item, like, you're intending it to last you a little bit. And even if it's something that you're eating out on the go, you really think, like, a shitty little $5 thing of ice cream that's like 3 scoops and you can't finish it is a scam because of that?
No, 3 scoops, if you can't finish it, that's your fault.
What? It's relative to the person, though. You can't say it's a scam.
I'm just saying if they advertised, like, 10 like, more than an average person can finish, like, quickly, then it's a scam.
What would you consider, like, an average to be? Because
Like,
I already think 3 is too much.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm saying 5 as a safe kind of thing, because I feel like most people can't just, like, quickly eat 5 scoops of ice cream.
You know you can ask for, like, a cone in a cup, right?
I mean, do most people do that?
I do. I'm most people.
But what if they're, like, a fucking, like, grandparent and they're getting, some, like, a cone for their little shitty grandchild, and they're like, can I have, like, 5 scoops of ice cream? That little kid isn't gonna eat all of that in, like, 2
That little kid couldn't eat 2 fucking
Exactly,
scoops.
that's what I'm saying.
But it's not the little kid's fault. It's not a scam.
It's
that
a scam.
that the grandparent decides, oh yeah, my kid needs fucking 5 balls of ice cream. If they can't finish it, that's their problem. That's just being a bad grandparent.
Okay, what if it was specifically advertised, 4 kids, 5 scoops?
You're saying, like, it's advertised that each scoop is for each kid?
No, like, for 1 kid, 5 scoops.
Well, then that's the advertisement.
Yeah, but
so
that's
it would
a
be a
scam.
problem, but I still wouldn't use the word scam, but I've never seen an advertisement for ice cream where it's like, 5 scoops for 1 kid.
I know. I'm just kind of going as a hyperbole. I just feel like if they advertise too much ice cream, I feel like it's a scam.
I don't know how to continue this conversation because it makes no sense to me with what you're trying to say.
Well, that was our food conversation. So.
Food topic?
Yeah.
Okay, food topic over. Always have to have at least one food topic. So which one would you actually want to start with?
Let me see.
You've seen the list. I'll let you see this time.
But I'm not really right in the head right now.
Yep.
So, we already did number 5.
Yeah, don't say what they're actually, just say the numbers.
Yeah.
I guess I'll just talk to myself here for a bit while she's looking at this.
You said you wanted to review what we just watched because you had some things to say.
Well, that's a whole topic in of itself.
Okay. Well,
So I'm just going to talk to myself.
I guess I'll talk about Twitter cropping if you want.
Okay, Twitter cropping.
So,
What do you think?
I think it's bad. I feel like it's so random and it favors really weird things. And I wish we could either preview what we're going to get before we post something or be able to set it ourselves.
It doesn't actually bug me too much. In fact, I think it's kind of funny because anytime I see Twitter cropping, it in of itself is like a meme and can make an image better.
But I'd rather, like, people be able to do that themselves.
But previewing the image, I just feel like would take too much time if you're trying to post something.
Well, it doesn't... I feel like to you it doesn't matter, but to me as an artist who's trying to get the best picture out there for people who are just scrolling and doesn't want to, like, stop and click things, like, it really hurts somebody like me who posts and, like, shit, you know? After I post it, it's focused on the tits.
Sounds like your art is a scam.
My art is a scam.
Your art is a scam. You're trying to advertise, like, less, but you're actually giving them too much, and you're asking them to pay for it. That's a scam.
The only reason I was saying ice cream is a scam is because it melts. It melts in, like, 2 fucking seconds.
And art is timeless.
Yeah, art's a scam.
Art is a scam.
Yeah. But, it's just, like, I feel like they should give an option to preview it. Like, if you're just a random person, you don't have to do it. But if you're trying to put the best crop you can possibly do for your art, I feel like they need to do something like that.
That sounds like a lot of personalized settings, like Discord type stuff.
What do you mean?
Like, I've seen that if you're actually verified on Twitter, that you actually get a third different setting for who likes and stuff your tweet. You'll see specifically if a verified account follows you or anything. And they have their own third separate, like, notification box.
I'm just saying, like, not specifically that. I'm saying, like, give us a button that you don't have to click beforehand, but if you want to, then you can. Because, you know, like, the alternate, like, text or whatever?
Alternate text?
You can have a thing where it's, like, you put alternate text for people who are using screen readers for, like, a description of your picture that you're posting. So, but you don't have to do that. It's just an option that's there.
I don't know any of the words that you just said. I'm not a tech man.
Basically, if somebody is blind or hard of, like, seeing... I can't think of the fucking words. But,
vision impaired.
Yeah, vision impaired or can't read very well, something like that. They'll usually have, like, a screen reader while they're scrolling, and it reads off stuff that's on the screen. So if you wanted to, you could put text for the screen reader so it can read out what the picture is, what you decide to do that. But you don't have to do that. It's just an option. Like, it's not something that you have to do.
Well, pitch it to Twitter. DM Twitter on Twitter.
Yeah. Twitter doesn't give a fuck. Twitter does not care about artists or, like, most of their user base unless they...
You know what else? You know what other big corporation doesn't care about artists?
Twitch.
I don't know anything about this, but you also are passionate about this.
Yeah. Twitch, fucking Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, like, most social media sites do not give a fuck about artists, and usually, they just don't care. They always actively, roll out features and stuff that hurts artists and small businesses and such of the likes.
Twitch in general, or are you talking about, like, kind of all social media?
All of it, but Twitch recently added something very nasally right now.
For hurting artists, because I remember you mentioning, like, a couple of days ago saying that Twitter adding the dislike button or whatever might hurt them. I still don't know how that would affect them too much, to be honest.
I mean, for a small artists, especially, like, 13-year-olds that, or younger, who aren't supposed to be on there, but, you know, always make their way on there anyways. Can you imagine just, like, the mental toll it'll take on, like, smaller artists that, like, oh, I spent 5 hours on this, get 3 dislikes, no likes.
Well, I mean, that's going to happen with, like, any tweet ever, but I feel like it could also... I feel like it's more positive than negative.
I don't think so. I personally don't think so.
But is that just from you as an artist?
No.
Or how would you think it would hurt other things?
I feel like most people, especially smaller people that aren't, like, big celebrities, this would probably hurt more than help.
In what way?
Just, like, saying anything, just... dislike. Unless it's like, hey guys, like this if this, or, dislike this if this.
I mean, Twitter is just becoming YouTube, so is it really such a bad thing?
I mean, all fucking social medias are becoming each other.
That's true. YouTube adding, like, the weird Snapchat feature of the timelines.
And Twitter adding the weird Snapchat feature.
I never got why that took off as a thing. Those are so strange to me.
Especially recently. That's just really stupid. Like, pretty much every single social media is similar. But one thing that social media just needs to keep as a constant is not adding a dislike button. I think that is bad.
I want to dislike Tumblr and Snapchat, though.
What do you mean?
I want to dislike the app. So they should add a like or dislike feature on the App Store. Because fuck those apps.
Don't you use Twitter exclusively?
Yeah, exactly. So I want to dislike Tumblr and Snapchat. Because those apps are bad.
Okay.
That's how you do it. That's how you beat the other apps.
Just give it, like, 1 star.
No. I want a definitive thumbs up or thumbs down to say if it's good or not.
Okay. I just think thumbs down, dislike button is a awful idea.
Well, okay, then what if they change a dislike button to like a star rating for what you think of the art on Twitter?
I mean, Twitter's not technically just for art, which I can acknowledge, but like it seems like they're specifically burying artists on like all social media. It seems like I don't think it's a good idea in general. I feel like if you have an option to do it, like, when you're posting, to make it an option, you know, like, kind of like polls, if you could do something like that. Likes should stay as is. Just like most social medias just are trying to bury artists, and I think it's kind of sad. Like, Instagram recently, with the American elections, they haven't been showing stuff, like recent stuff in hashtags, which is actively hurting smaller, not even just artists, just like small businesses and stuff that don't have like a lot of following. Because tags is usually what like brings new people, because in the feeds you either see ads or people you're following. But if you use a hashtag and you go onto like the search bar and you go through the hashtags, you're going to see new stuff. But since they're not showing anything new since the beginning of this month, you know, the engagement's dropping.
I mean, if your art's good enough for anything anyway, like, if it's popular enough, it'll get on the trending page and people will see it.
There's no trending page on
Instagram?
On, like...
There's a trending page on Twitter, obviously.
Yeah, but it doesn't work like that. It's a topic. It's not, like, a singular...
I mean, art is a topic.
Yeah, but it's... Your singular piece of art isn't gonna go trending.
I guess that's true.
Twitter with the quote retweets, actively hurting artists, but disliking. But Twitch is doing a weird experimental thing about, like, grouping certain categories: gaming, music, IRL, and something else.
You'll hate this. How do you? What do you think about artists or people who just like download or repost an image of an art piece without crediting the artist?
That's probably one of the worst things you can honestly do. In terms of like supporting an artist, that's probably the worst thing you can do for them. I'm not saying that's the worst thing in the world. I'm saying as like a person who does art, that's probably one of the worst things for them.
To be honest, I'm mostly split when it comes to that stuff. Like if it's an art piece that was clearly made to like look cool or whatever, then I understand you should credit the artist. But if it's like a funny image, like kind of goofy, sometimes I'm just like, I don't feel like bothering to go out of my way to do it. But even though I know it's not great, so I guess I'm more on the side of like credit them, but don't expect it all the time.
Well, I feel like you shouldn't re-upload things unless you have credit for it.
I mean, if I'm in my Discord chat and I post something
funny... No, that's fine. That happens all the time. I don't care. I feel like nobody cares. But if you have a repost account, which is a really big thing for some reason, then they always do like credit to the artist, and then they get tons of likes and follows, but you know, nothing goes to the actual artist, because nobody wants to go out of their way to like search who this person is.
And that's why you hate quote retweets, because that kind of goes hand in hand with it. Yeah,
because it makes it a separate tweet. So anything that gets to like, oh wow, this looks so good, that engagement goes to that tweet and not the original tweet.
Speaking of supporting the creator, does porn... look at that seamless transition, by the way. Does porn actually need revenue? Like, does it actually need money to thrive?
You know my stance on this, but obviously we're going to go into it.
We've never done it on the podcast.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying.
I know. Mango. I almost said pear. I'm pear.
You always do that.
I don't know. We're all pears on the inside.
Very Perry.
Where's Perry?
Anyways, I believe it does, because it's a job and people have production companies for it. And if nobody did that, Pornhub would not be free. You know, you wouldn't have any sort of actual production of porn. Yes, you'd still get like random fucko like 18-year-olds being like, hey, look at my tits on, like, Instagram and, like, Twitter and stuff, but you would not get the same amount of stuff. Because it's a job for most people who do it, like OnlyFans. Most good people, you know, who put the time and effort, they pay for the equipment to take good pictures, to take good videos, to, like, get clothes, get, like, toys, you know.
I guess I've got to be more specific. When I mean, like, would there be less porn? I feel like the quality of porn would obviously drop. Like, you wouldn't get, like, high-budget stuff that Wood Rocket does, even if it's goofy and stupid. But, like, as the amount, I don't think it would change that much.
Yeah.
Because, like, just like the internet, once it's on there, it's just going to keep building up more and more and more over the coast, even if it's, like, a niche.
I don't know. I feel like it wouldn't be as much. It'd still be there, but definitely not as much.
I feel like it'd still be ridiculously overwhelming. I don't think, even if it made absolutely no money, I feel like fucking there'd be millions and millions of videos that you'd find with no problem, and there would be a Pornhub-like thing.
I don't know. I feel like it would just be on, like, a social media or something. And a fair warning to you, I'm kind of going out of it. I can still talk, but I won't be completely there. But I'll still probably be talking, not very coherently.
Do you want me to cut that out?
No, you can do what you want, but, like, we can keep going. I just don't know how coherent or in myself I'll be.
Oh.
I can just feel myself drifting a little bit.
I guess I'll keep this in. I won't even cut it. This is going to be really weird.
Okay. So people have context if I just randomly start going coherent.
Oh, okay. I don't know what that means. I don't know. I really don't think it would affect the porn industry too much if there was. I think it would only affect the quality of how much, like, things look nice, like an HD camera as opposed to a shitty phone camera.
I don't know. I feel like most people wouldn't do it.
I agree to disagree.
Yeah.
First Harry Potter movie.
Okay.
That's the next topic.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we talked about last stream that we were going to watch the first Harry Potter movie. She's already seen it.
Yeah, I've seen all of them. I used to really like Harry Potter, but fuck you know who, and not Voldemort, am I right?
And I've seen it, but it's been at least, like, 5 to 10 years, maybe more.
I can't believe you actually saw it in theaters. That actually blew my mind a little bit.
Did I say I saw it in theaters?
Well, I think you saw some of the movies. I don't know if it was that one specifically.
I've definitely seen the second one.
Yeah.
But the first one, I don't think a single thing was really familiar to me.
Yeah.
There wasn't a single scene that I could remember.
I mean, you can remember memes, but, like, that's all over the internet.
Well, most of the memes that I was reciting that I remembered was from before Persona 5 came out, there was a Persona, like, you're a wizard Harry shit because everyone thought
Oh, yeah.
the pro tag looked like Harry Potter.
Yeah. I think Akira is a much better name than Ren.
Yeah, me too.
But, you know, not Persona. What'd you think?
It wasn't very good.
Yeah.
That movie is definitely not timeless, at least the first one for me.
Yeah. You should say what we were both thinking about all the scenes not going together.
That's what I was about to get into. I feel like each scene, like, it's almost like every single scene in the movie was taken out of context, and then they just mashed it together to make a movie.
Yeah. Like, the filmmakers, it almost seemed like if you had any sort of space or time to relax, that you could be bored, but it, like, kind of achieved the opposite effect, because there was just shit going on constantly.
I can definitely say that movie didn't need to be 2.5 hours long. Yeah. You could have easily cut 30 to 45 minutes off there, fine.
Yeah.
The Quidditch shit was boring. I feel like there was just so much walking and talking the whole film.
Yeah.
It was kind of
books
obnoxious.
too.
It's like, oh man, there's a troll in the dungeon.
There's a troll in the dungeon.
Oh man, there's this Cerberus in this other room. Oh, there's a mirror. Oh, now Voldemort. Like, stuff just kind of happened. Nothing felt like it was pieced together at all. Like, things were meant... It's like the whole movie was basically set up.
And there were some scenes that would have felt better if they were in different orders. Because, like, what was that one scene? It's like, oh, Quidditch. Wow, you're the youngest Quidditch guy of doing that one thing. And then they go to the Cerberus, and then they immediately go back to Quidditch. So, like, some of the scenes just feel really weird. And I do remember, I think some of the stuff in the book is pretty much the same. I can't really remember.
Oh, it's just as messy.
Yeah, I mean, it is a first book in a series, so you're kind of, like, establishing shit. And it definitely felt like it was supposed to be a series. Like, it felt like somebody who's like, I'm going to write 10 books off of this.
To me, I kind of agree and disagree with that comment. I don't feel like it feels like a series.
Yeah.
I feel like it feels like an after series, like explaining more lore bits to the original series. Like, basically an OVA episode.
Also, mind you, just as a disclaimer, I haven't read the books in a long time, and I haven't seen the movies in quite a bit.
And I think I've read like one book, and I remember nothing about it, and same with the movie. So.
Yeah. After Goblet of Fire, things get really hazy for me, and I cannot remember a lot. Like, barely.
I'm just surprised, honestly, that the first movie was able to get a sequel, because, like, the first one came out in 2002, right? And the second one...
I think it was 2001.
2002, 2001, but the second one came out in 2005. So, I'm just surprised with that much time in between, like, how well that movie must have done to, like, get a sequel, because it was boring as shit to me.
Yeah. Like, one is one of the, like, the more not okay ones, but I'd watch that movie over and over compared to the, like, I think the 5th and 6th one, because to me, it feels like nothing's happening in those ones.
That whole first movie felt like the first 2 episodes of ReZero.
Yeah.
Like, it was just set up.
It has potential, but...
I hate that. I don't think we should bring that up in this podcast, but I hate that.
We also haven't gone past Prisoner of Azkaban yet, so me saying I can't get through 5 and 6 may change in the future, but that's just from what I remember.
I don't even know what you're talking about, but okay.
Because every time I've tried to watch Harry Potter after I got all the movies, just 5 and 6, I think it's...
Is that the part 1 and part 2 ones?
No, I think that's like 7 and 8.
Oh my god.
Because of 5 and 6, though, I can never actually get to the last 2 because I stop after 5 and 6.
I couldn't fucking imagine somebody sitting down and going, yeah, let's binge watch the Harry Potter movies.
You know what's really funny to me, though? Is, like, I've tried to do it so many times, but I'm now just realizing that they're 2.5 hours long, which is probably why I got so burnt out trying to do it.
Yeah, it's way too much for the movie. If each movie is 2.5 hours long, and like it looked like there were, it's just too much fat.
How did I have the time when I was younger to even get to the 6th movie? I wasted an entire day watching those movies multiple times. How did I have the time?
That kind of
Kids have way too much time on their hands.
That kind of explains why I don't really remember anything about the first movie. Probably because it was just so uninteresting for me.
Yeah.
And the second one, like I said, I've remembered scenes of it, like the car and the Phoenix and
the
bullshit.
second one has a lot of charm to it, but I feel like that's me just being biased towards it.
I don't know if it's charm or not. Well, I'm not going to go into a full review of the second one yet because
we haven't finished it. Yeah.
So we'll wait until probably podcast like 6 or something.
Yeah.
But like the pacing just felt better, and every scene felt kind of whimsical. Was in this one, it's like, the whimsy is there's a ghost who takes his head off, and there's a school. Like, there wasn't any creative stuff. It was just like, oh yeah, dark, there's trolls, and there's Cerberuses, and Voldemort's a bad wizard, and he killed your parents, Harry. Like, there's no, like, kind of happy, like, oh man, this magic is so interesting, right?
I guess there was a wizard's chest, but just saying wizard's chest doesn't really inspire a lot of, like, creative confidence.
Wizard's chest?
It was chest, but...
Oh, wizard chest. I thought you said chest. Yeah, that was the closest thing to whimsical I feel like I got.
But in the second one, there's, like, a whole bunch of, like, cool stuff, like the flue powder traveling, and then, like, the Cornish pixies that, like, I don't think I've ever seen Cornish pixies outside of Harry Potter. I don't know if that's, like, a real thing.
I've seen them in MMOs.
Oh. Well, I don't... Actually, that's funny. I was going to bring up... Most of the stuff in Harry Potter, I thought Harry Potter made up when I was younger. Like,
like concept-wise?
Yeah, like the monsters and stuff, just because I didn't know a lot back then. Okay, anyways, I just, like, I didn't know that those concepts were an actual thing. Like, I think it's the next, I think it's either the next movie or, yeah, it is. Okay, never mind. But there's a thing called a hippogriff. I don't know if you've ever heard of those.
Spoilers.
Well, it's whatever. And I thought it was, like, the stupidest name. I was like, why did Harry Potter come up with that? Because, like, hippogriff, you know, you'd think of, like, a hippo and, like, a giraffe or something. But it's like a...
I was going to say a griffin. A hippogriff?
It's like a horse with wings. But it's not a Pegasus. It's, like... something else.
A horse with wings, but
it's a monster. It doesn't have the face of a horse, but it has a horse body.
Scary griffin.
We'll get to it, but like I thought it was the stupidest thing, and I'm like, why would they name it that? And then I realized when I got more into like mythology and stuff that was a thing before Harry Potter. Harry Potter didn't actually come up with these concepts. Like the snake in this movie. I thought that was a Harry Potter thing. I thought, what was another thing? Just pretty much everything in there that's already a thing, I thought Harry Potter came up with.
I'll probably get a shit ton of hate for this, if anyone even listens to our podcast, but even though I like the second movie more so far, I won't lie, the main plot of the snake is the one thing keeping me uninterested.
Yeah.
I feel like it's so bland.
But it kind of leads into the bigger arc of the story.
My problem is Voldemort isn't interesting. He just seems like bad man with absolutely no depth to him.
And his big, like, secret thing, I just find kind of annoying. But I can't really tell you what that is. I don't know if they actually talk about what his thing is until, like, the fourth movie.
Well, guess we'll fucking get there, I guess. I don't know. Harry Potter
and even now I don't really get it, but I guess maybe during my millionth run of Harry Potter I'll actually understand what's going on.
I also just... fucking everything happening around Harry in the first movie is just... it's kind of hard to deal with because he acts like it's totally normal even though it's supposed to be completely new to him.
And then regular stuff, he's like, oh, what? Blah, blah, blah.
It's really strange. I feel like the closest he gets to like reacting to the new shit around him is, oh,
yeah,
big reaction face. Look how surprised I am.
Man, Harry, you're a wizard. Well, I'll go with it. Man, there's these killer things after you. Yeah, sure. There's all these fucking there's moving pictures. Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, you have a lightning bolt on your head, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
How'd you get that? Oh, they killed my parents' magic bullshit from Evil Man.
There's a three-headed dog in this room that you're not supposed to be in. I wasn't even supposed to be in there anyways.
Oh yeah, there's a magic mirror, Harry, and it lets you see whatever you desire, and you see your parents. And then the mirror is never seen, I think. Oh, I know, it's seen at the end of the movie.
Yeah, and it comes back.
Of course it fucking does.
I feel like most magic concepts that you see in the first two movies, by the end of the series, it's like a nostalgia thing. It's like, hey, you guys remember that? Yeah, you do. Here it comes.
But you know what she doesn't remember? In the very second movie. Hey, the first movie. Hey, this is a spell that lets you levitate shit. Ron and Harry in the car. I have my magic wand. And Ron was having trouble. This could have been payoff for a small little arc, but... He doesn't do it. He could levitate the car when they're falling, but I don't know what J.K. Rowling forgot.
One thing I do give at least the movie makers credit for, I don't remember if this is like a book thing, but I do like how they explain things to Harry because he doesn't know. And, like the fucking the Bifrost thing and the Thor whatever it is.
See, while I do think, yeah.
It's not a revolutionary concept, but I do appreciate the fact that it makes sense that they're like, hey, what is this?
At the same time, though, I find it incredibly annoying because he is the only character who doesn't know about this shit. So it's like anytime you see a scene with Harry and like a new character or something else, you immediately know, oh, we're about to get like 10 minutes of fucking exposition about this shit we don't know.
Yeah. But I can give it at least a little bit of credit for, because he doesn't know. And I appreciate that a lot more than someone who's been alive for thousands of years using something that they've been using for thousands of years, having to be explained what it does, just because the audience doesn't know.
But it's at the same time, though, it's almost as if, like, Harry in the entire first movie has no personality, that they might as well have been talking to the audience the whole time of, like, hey, you guys, this is how you play Quidditch, okay? This is how it works, all this shit. Hey, the mirror, it does this. Okay, Voldemort, remember Voldemort. He's important for later.
That's something I do hate about, like, any sort of exposition, though. Because a lot of the time, it's so hard to sound natural. It always sounds like it's hey,
like
audience!
Yeah, it's like the director is yelling in my face to tell me, hey, you look, remember that? It's that.
I always appreciate a show don't tell. Except in ReZero, tell me everything. But
no, do both. It does both the best.
Well, I know. I know what I mean. I know what you mean.
ReZero appreciation episode.
But, like, I appreciate when you can tell a character who doesn't know about the world to them instead of, you know, like, what I was saying. But my favorite thing is when you can show something instead of being like, hey, ignorant character, look at this. Come learn about this.
But this is ignorant character, learn about this.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
Is I really appreciate when they show it. And it's not an ignorant character. They're just going through the motions of doing something that, you know, you're supposed to learn about. But they're doing it.
How fucking dumb is Quidditch, by the way? Ah, yes, we have this game with all these balls, and each ball is a point. By the way, there's this, like, golden snitch. If you catch it, it immediately ends the game and your team wins.
Yeah.
What the fuck is the point of even playing the rest of the game, then?
Yeah. Like, I guess there's...
And then there's that weird kind of plot hole in the second movie where he's not playing with the golden snitch for the whole, and he's, like, actually going for the balls and shit.
Yeah. I don't know if they explain how, like, if the Seeker is supposed to actually do anything else, but it was kind of weird. Then in the first movie, he didn't do shit until the Golden Snitch, and then the second movie, he was actually, like, doing defense and offense and
It doesn't
like
make any sense. It's like, even they know, oh man, Quidditch is kind of fucking pointless.
Also, what you were saying about broomsticks being faster than other broomsticks, I never really thought about it, but what does that mean?
Yeah. It doesn't... Man, this wood...
Did they put more magic into it or something?
How does that work? What do you mean you put more magic
I don't know.
into it?
But, because I know things get more complicated and, like, there are more rules in the, like, the later stuff. But I feel like there's so much, like, because you're figuring out what we're doing. Okay, so magic, bullshit, blah, blah, blah. Like, there's so many, because I remember hand magic being, like, something of big importance, but I keep seeing regular people do it in the first two films, and I'm like, are they supposed to be able to do that, or, because I remember it being a big deal, like, you're not supposed to be able to do that. There's just so many, like, stuff. This is gonna be a spoiler, but I fucking hate it so much, because it comes out of nowhere. But in the last two films, you can check wands for, like, magic use history or some shit.
What?
I don't remember how it works,
like but a fucking search browser is like,
pretty much.
Oh, man. Oh, I see you using the big titty spell, Harry.
I'm pretty sure it's, like, the last spell used or some shit, but, like, that was never a thing before. And the fact that they pulled it out of nowhere, like, that's the only thing I can remember from the last two films, besides it being, like, the big finale thing.
I think it's hearing that you can see their magic history,
and I'm pretty sure it's only in the last two films too.
How do you see it? Like, is it like you can physically see it says the spell?
I
or
don't
is it
remember.
Like...
I just remember that the main three are in the woods. They're, like, hiding or some bullshit, and then they're like, there's these like bad guys. I don't remember if they were like Voldemort or whatever, and they're like, let's see your wand for magic history or some shit. I think they're trying to hide Harry or some bullshit. I don't remember. I'll have to look up the scene, but I just remember it being incredibly stupid.
How the fuck does that even fucking work?
Like, the way I'm imagining it, I don't know if I'm remembering it right, but like I'm thinking like they're holding the stick in their hand and then they're scrolling or some shit. I don't think that's how it works, but like that's what I'm imagining. Just like
they have like a wizard's dating site on their fucking sticks.
I swear to God, if I look up the scene and they're literally like scrolling on the wand or some shit, I'm gonna lose my fucking shit. I'm gonna go.
They can call people through the wands. They just put it up to their face. It's like, yo, Harry, what's going on, man? Fuck, Dumbledore's going fucking mad over here. Shit, he can't hit on Hermione like he used to. The teachers will get upset with him.
Oh, there's like this weird thing, like this weird plot line at the end. You know the weird symbol that you see all the time with like the triangle and the circle and bullshit?
No.
I don't remember if that's even mentioned until the end, but I think it's so fucking stupid. I remember the last two films being fucking stupid. That's all I remember.
I think overall I'm gonna give the first movie like a 4 out of 10. Maybe even lower. It wasn't that it was awful. It's just I really feel like the problems were it wasn't edited well.
Yeah.
Every scene just kind of happened. And it was too long. Like, I felt like I was trapped, and the movie wouldn't let me leave.
Yeah. I don't remember. I don't know how to look up this scene.
Oh, wait, no. There's one other thing that pissed me the fuck off of the movie. It played the damn fucking opening song like a billion fucking times, and it just didn't stop. It's like they had one song for the soundtrack and like, alright, it's going to be the theme for the movie, it's going to be the theme for any transition scene, it's going to be the theme for a wide shot, like, it's played
It's going to be a theme for a revelation.
It's like every 5 seconds, it's so fucking annoying. And thank God in the second movie they got other songs to play. Because it drove me fucking insane in the first movie.
I don't know if you noticed, but a lot of the songs that you were complimenting for not being the same song was actually the same song, just like remixed a little bit.
In the second one?
Yeah.
That doesn't surprise me, but at least it's remixed and not like played just the exact same way every fucking time.
Yeah. I can't find the scene because like there's another like plot point about the wands, so it's like it's such an insignificant scene that I fucking hate. So I can't find the specific scene that I'm fucking thinking about. Also, a plot point that I don't know if you noticed, or a plot hole. I don't understand how this works, but you know how in the first one it's like, oh, the wand chooses the wizard, Mr. Potter. Then in the second one, you know, Ron fucking like breaks his wand, and then Professor McGonagall, the old like cat lady, she's like, you're gonna need a replacement wand. What?
Well, that's what I was already saying when we were watching the first movie, that the wand choosing you doesn't really make any sense with how the scene is presented. Because he goes in, like, oh, Harry Potter, and then he has to show him, like, 5 or 6 different ones that he just randomly decided to pick that all just magically didn't work, but then this specific wand, for some reason, worked.
How is he supposed to know specifically?
What I assumed the movie was going to do is going to be like, all right, you have this shop. I didn't even think there was going to be an owner, really. I thought it was just going to be the shop, maybe a shit ton of wands are hung from the walls or something, and he literally just walking through with his hand across the wall until one just, like, feels right, I guess. Other than just, okay, I'm going to randomly pick these couple boxes, give it to him. Oh, that didn't work? Okay, we're going to pick this one. Oh, it didn't explode, so that has to be the right one.
Also, the sister wand that I was telling you about in the first one comes back in later on, but for some reason Harry is able to use it. There's a whole plot point about the wands, which I remember just being stupid.
So other people can use other people's wands?
Technically.
Then it doesn't work.
There's a reason for that, but I can't tell you yet.
Yeah, it's probably some dumb bullshit.
Yeah, it is.
It's fucking Deus Ex Machina or some shit. Harry can use all the wands because he is the Oh, fuck, that just fucking reminded me. I thought it was dumb as shit at the end of the first movie. Harry's like down there in Voldemort or whatever, And, like, the guy goes up to Harry, he's like, I'm gonna get you, you fucking kid. And he touched him. Oh, no, my face is burning.
I thought rewatching it, I'd understand the last scene. But the whole movie, the whole plot of this fucking, like, series is Harry's mother's love protected him.
That was the weirdest scene. I was so confused. He just catches on fire and burns to death, basically, and turns into ash because his mother's love was magically protecting him.
Yeah.
Somehow.
And there's a plot point that's gonna come up eventually, but well, actually, they're not really going to bring it up too much in the movies, I remembered. There's a big plot point about there actually being a real chosen one, but because of what happened with Harry, he's kind of the more important chosen one or some bullshit.
Yeah, whatever. Go give Voldemort a hug and he'll fucking explode.
Not after a certain movie because of something.
Wait, his magic love mom doesn't work anymore later?
Because of something.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm so glad these movies make so much sense.
Maybe I'm just, like, small brain, but just from what I remember, nothing made sense.
And you were saying before that the movie-to-book adaptation is actually quite good. Like, most of the shit that's in the book is in the movie.
From what I can remember, it's pretty similar. There's just so much that's cut out because the movies are already 2.5 hours long, you know?
So then what I'm hearing is it's just not a very good book and it's kind of overhyped.
Yeah. And I love Harry Potter, but it's not as good as everybody says it is. I was so surprised, though, when I went and saw the ratings for these movies, and they only got 7s. Just because of how fucking crazy Harry Potter fans are. I thought it would have been, like, higher. I'm so glad to know that overall it is marked as mediocre at best.
I hope I get angry Harry Potter fans in my comments.
Instead of your porn bots.
Yeah, instead of the porn. Yeah, we have our first 2 comments, and they're both, like, porn links.
Yeah, hot MILFs in your area.
But, like, I don't know, as an outsider who's not in this fandom and just knows, like, minor spoilers and pretty much nothing else, first movie is not what it is cracked up to be. Holy shit, it does not hold up in the slightest.
Yeah, I didn't like it as much, but like I said, I'd watch it more than the last couple of films.
Like, I'm laughing about it now, but when we were watching the first one, and then there's the one scene of, I think, Ron's sister, and they're going through the wall or whatever with the carts, and then we're watching the second movie. Oh, that's right, she's obsessed with you. And I'm like, wait, who is that?
I don't remember if there's anything else in the books, but that it's so weird because it's like, good luck. She's been talking about you all summer.
Yeah. What the fuck was it? It's like never brought up again in the whole second movie, or what it seemed like, where it's just like, oh yeah, she's been obsessed with you now because you said hi to her that one time.
I also don't understand how Dobby, the little fucking, like, house slave, is able to do the magic that he's able to do. Like, the concept of magic in this movie doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
See,
because a lot of magic is on site. You have to be looking at the thing most of the time, but somehow he's able to be like a, well, what's the, like, third person, what's the word where you know everything? Like,
right, know everything.
Like,
self-aware?
No, like, book perspective, it's like first person, second person, third person limited, and third person, like, omnipresent or whatever.
I don't fucking know.
Basically feels like an entity throughout the entire second film. It's like
Jesus.
He knows when Harry's gonna get in trouble,
King
but he's
Crimson.
not there. So I don't know how magic, like, there's no consistency in like how magic works.
See, I'm fine in shows that have magic where it's like, okay, how does it work? Doesn't matter. Don't think about it. That doesn't bug me.
But when they put a lot of emphasis on how this is
yeah, like when they shove it in your face, like, no, it does work. It doesn't just work. This is how it works, right?
Oh.
And it wants you to try to think about it, but it so clearly doesn't make any fucking sense.
And all the whimsical bullshit that you like about, that you found kind of charming about, I almost said Resident Evil.
That would be a very different Harry Potter, but zombies.
All the whimsical, like, happy bullshit, it's gonna drastically decline. The third one's all edgy. Like, there's literal monsters in there that represent depression for her.
Oh my
J.K.
God,
Rowling
Persona. It's just a shittier Persona.
No. It
Ron,
sucks.
Look out! Izanagi!
It sucks the life out of you. It sucks the happiness out of you. And then the fourth one, I don't remember. I guess there's some whimsical bullshit in it, but it's more so... It's the Tournament of Power arc, basically. Or it's not the Tournament of Power, but just a tournament arc.
I think watching Harry Potter is the same feeling I'm getting when I watched the Lord of the Rings movie, where it's, oh yeah, I'm aware that I've seen most all, if not all of them. If you ask me anything about any of them, I won't have an answer for you.
Yeah.
They're all such in one ear, out the other, so fucking empty and boring.
Like, the next one gets more edgy, and then the fourth one, it's like setting you up to be like, whoo, but it's a little edgy, and then at the end it's like really edgy. Then the rest of it, I don't remember like a lot of happy scenes or whimsical bullshit. It's just like, oh man, I'm the chosen one, and like there's sadness and darkness, and I'm sad and darkness and edgy for the rest of the fucking thing.
His lightning bolt on his head rolls down and becomes a tear on his face. And he starts crying. And he's like, oh, my parents.
Yeah.
Oh.
After this, I really want to watch the rest of the second one.
Yeah, we can finish it after this.
What are we at?
We're at 56 minutes. We're almost done.
Yeah.
So I think we should do at least like one or two more topics.
Harry Potter sucks.
I guess we'll... yeah. Overall rating for me, 4 out of 10.
Yeah.
So we have two different things that we could talk about. One is a review, or the other thing is on topic with Thanksgiving. Which one do you choose for our final topic today?
Let me see.
I'm not going to show you what it is. I'm letting you pick between the two.
The review.
There's either a review of something, or there is a thing that has to do with Thanksgiving.
Didn't we already talk about the other review?
No, we didn't.
Are you sure?
I am positive.
Is it the
I'm
shitty
not.
movie?
Just pick one. Stop trying to read it out. Just pick one.
Well, I have to know.
Stop being such a mango. Fucking pick one.
I'll fucking break you.
Review or Thanksgiving?
I guess both, but we'll start with
I mean, we don't have to do both. I mean, you said you don't want to bring it on too long.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
Reviews.
You want to do review first?
Sure.
Okay, so we saw Megan is Missing.
Yes, we did.
Yes, we did. We saw Megan is Missing.
I wanted to watch it because I love watching, like, stuff that's supposed to be dark and edgy and, like, horror movies, just to find out that it's just so mid-tier, if that.
So, would you consider Megan is Missing a cult classic for people now?
I feel like...
Because I'd never even heard of this movie until, like, the past 2 weeks.
You want to... Do you know why it became all popular all of a sudden?
TikTok.
Yeah.
I heard about that.
That's what always happens. It's not that people like it. It's that, like, guys, don't watch this because it's spooky. And it's, like, always some, like, I guess it's dark, but we've seen it a million times sort of thing. But most people are not really adjusted to that sort of thing.
What I heard, I don't know if this is true, so correct me if I'm wrong, is I heard on TikTok people were showing images of the two pictures in the movie, and it was scaring people, so then they were asking where it was from, and then it was a link to this movie.
I don't know, but I always see, and I saw the screenshot from, like, this one where it's like, don't watch Megan is Missing. Because they always say, don't watch this, it's not worth it, it's scary. And then people are like, I'm built different, I'm going to watch it. And then they're like, oh, I wasn't built different. Like, it's so funny that the type of people that go into it thinking that they're above what they're about to see, but they go into it and they're like, oh, it's as bad as I thought it, or it's as bad as everybody thought it was. Because, like, if you know what you're expecting, I don't understand how you can be surprised.
I didn't think a single scene in that movie was scary.
It was really uncomfortable, though.
Really?
The mouth rape? Oh, I was 10, and, like, I had this guy...
Oh, I thought you meant like unsettling, uncomfortable, like, oh,
No.
it creeped you out. Oh, yeah.
It just made me feel like a 30-year-old man written this to get off. I can't think right now.
Wrote this
to get off.
Michael Goy, I believe his name is.
Yeah.
I did not like your film, sir. The acting is definitely the worst acting I've seen in the past 5 to 10 years on any film. It was hilarious, though, I'll say that.
Yeah.
Like, it was like The Room levels of
Man,
bad.
you're sexy. You call me sexy. Yeah, and you're dumb, too, if you believe that.
That was the best line in the movie for me, where Josh is on call with, what's her name, Amy, and then, like... He's like, oh, yeah, you're sexy, you're beautiful, and all. She's like, oh, yeah, really? Oh, then you must be stupid, too. Like, it's the funniest shit. Like, even though he's supposed to be the bad guy, just, like, shades just fall out of him, and he just looks like a badass. So
just like a fucking online cyberbully.
It was so fucking funny.
The only scene... Which we didn't even watch it because of how long it was before anything actually happened. The digging scene. Like, the only scene that really kind of, like, resonates with me, not resonates, but I think about a lot, is when she's getting buried alive in the barrel. Only because the thought of it is terrifying to me. Not the actual scene, because we didn't actually watch that part. All we saw was digging, and then we're like, okay, we're done.
I think the only thing that sticks with me was, like, photo 2. That's the only thing in my head of that movie that I can remember is, like, blood, mouth open, stuck on a weird thing.
Like... I can get to how some people can be squeamish to it if they're not used to this sort of thing.
I didn't think it was scary, but, like, it's almost like how FNAF shit can be stuck in my head, where it's like, I'm not scared of you, but you are in the back of my head thinking, yeah, that was supposed to be a horror thing, wasn't it?
But the only reason I really think about, like, the burying alive thing is just, not even because, like, she was in there with Megan's, like, rotting body, it's just... The thought of being buried alive scares me. Like, in I Spit on Your Grave, where I guess, where they're burying her in the thing. And it's just the thought of, like, you being stuck there, alive, until you die. And nobody can, like, hear you. It's not the scene itself, it's the thought of it.
Even the thought of it's, like, I'm way more afraid of heights than I am of, like, being stuck under something and just getting all kinds of fucked up.
Yeah. There's something else I was going to mention, but I forgot. Oh, yeah. For this being about, like, the dangers of online stuff, it takes way too long to actually get to that plot point.
Yeah, it feels like this might as well have been, like, a 30 minutes, like, PSA.
Yeah.
You could cut out the entire first hour of the film because it's not even related to
that. Yeah, it's so weird. Because it's like, oh yeah, I'm a slut, I do drugs. I'm also in middle school, but, you know, I'm a slut, I suck dick.
Yeah, I could have sworn the first hour of the film I was supposed to be masturbating to it because it's just so, like, in your face about...
Explicit for some reason?
Yeah, when I was 10 years old, I was sucking off the counselor, and he just, like, he was so big and all that shit. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck was all that about?
They were so into it, too.
Yeah,
it took way too long to actually get to the point. Because it's like, yeah, we get it, you're using, like, video calls and stuff, but, like, I think 30 minutes to almost an hour is when they actually start talking about, like, hey, this is Josh, a random person we've never met. Like, and then the rest of it's like... Hey, do you know where Megan is? No. Bye. Hey, do you know where Megan is? No. Bye. And then the rest of the film is just digging.
And, like, at that point, too, like, both the main characters were bad. I didn't feel bad for really... I guess Amy's the close person where you could say, I would feel bad if you died. But Megan is kind of a giant asshole.
And like, what we were saying about how, like, they did the order of how this movie is wrong to make you feel sympathy for Megan.
It's so funny. Like, the first 30 minutes of the film is her being a terrible person. And then, like, the movie kind of just stops and she's all like, oh, it's because what my uncle raped me,
my dad,
or whatever the fuck.
Stepdad.
Yeah, and my mom didn't believe me, so feel bad for me, audience.
Also, you might want to put, just in case anybody actually ever listens to this, a trigger warning, since we're mentioning, rape.
I probably should just bleep that word in general or something.
Okay.
The R word. Is what we were talking about.
Okay.
But yeah, there's too many scenes, like that one scene of literally just, oh no, so feel bad for me. I'm actually a good person.
Man, I'm a slutty person. Oh, my stepdad cries. Like, if you did that scene first and then, like, oh, this is why she's like this.
It's the establishing of, oh man, she's fucked up. This is why she's fucked up, though.
Yeah.
Instead of, oh, she's a fucking asshole, so let's make up for that because she's kind of a dick.
Yeah. There's actually a science behind that. Have you ever seen, like, Brain Games on, like, Netflix or whatever?
No.
But there's a thing where they did an experiment about, like, job interviews where it's like, I'm kind of lazy, I don't like to do work, but I'm really fun to be around, blah, 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 compared to, like, I work well with others, blah, 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 but I kind of, I'm lazy. Usually they'd pick the one where you start off good and then go for the bad, because, this is a good person. I can't think of the thing that I'm talking about. But if you're trying to use sympathy, you want to use the sympathy first, most of the time, and especially in something like this, and then get into the fucked up stuff.
See, the question I have in my head now is, would I rather rewatch Megan is Missing or the Harry Potter movie?
I mean, to me, it's not really a competition.
Really? For you?
I've already seen Harry Potter a million times.
For me, it's actually legitimately hard if I'd rather rewatch either, because, like, Harry Potter is so fucking long. It's the question of either, would I rather be bored out of my mind or, like, laughing at dumb scenes and then bored but not bored for long?
Yeah.
Even though Harry Potter's a better movie, like, without any competition in general, it's so exhausting.
I got a list of, like, disturbing films from somebody off of Twitter that I'm excited to watch to see if it disturbs me at all. You don't have to watch them with me, but I'm really excited to go through the list and see what I think.
You know what movie we should see in theaters when it comes out?
What?
The FNAF movie.
No.
We have the title and some...
No.
But it's actually... I said it in the group chat. I don't care. I know it's stupid. I know FNAF's dumb, but it was all my shit in high school.
I'm gonna kill myself.
It's about Mike or Michael.
I know.
Yeah.
The audience doesn't care, I can tell you that.
The FNAF audience loves it.
I'm gonna eat my mic. Crunch, crunch.
Oh, but it'll be fine. It'll be better than Megan is Missing, I can probably tell you that.
Yeah. I don't think there's a lot out there that could be worse than Megan is Missing.
Oh, I can think of plenty of movies that are worse than Megan is Missing.
Oh, I found just a random thing. Nobody knows what I'm talking about except for you, but that weird film that I was talking about, Midori or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
I found out why it was so choppy, which is kind of funny, because I was like, oh, some of the parts aren't even animated, it's kind of choppy. I don't know if you remember me saying that.
Yeah.
But apparently it was so disturbing of a film that nobody picked it up. It was literally one guy who did all the animation. I think that's hilarious. Like, sir, this is disgusting. We're not going to pick this up. Well, I'm just going to do it myself.
I mean, that's like kind of what like Blumhouse does.
What?
Like Blumhouse Studio. The guy who makes horror movies for like a really, really low budget, so if one takes off, he makes a shit ton in returns for the box office.
I thought that was just most like horror movies.
No, well, I mean, it is now, but Blumhouse is kind of the originator of that, where like before he went, like when he was starting off, he actually tried to make films that were like worth something, but none of them took off. So then he's like, okay, I have like $10,000 to my name. I'm gonna put $2,000 into just making this movie and see if it takes off. And it like, even though nobody saw it, you put $2,000 in a movie only, regardless of how well it does, you're going to make more than you lost. Because like $20 for a ticket, if the movie's gonna be global and worldwide and it's gonna be in theater for like 2 months, that's not too hard to do.
Yeah.
Even if like it's, nobody even knows about it. And then, so then over time you got bigger hits like Paranormal Activity.
Yeah.
Which is like, it took no money to fucking make, made a shit ton of money.
And then they made like 5 more of them.
And they all did really well. But like, yeah, he makes a lot of those kind of movies. He's actually making the FNAF movie too, I think, too. So
that's pretty neat.
I think they're spending
moving up in the world.
Huh?
Moving up in the world.
I mean, I don't know if that... I mean, he still does the same tactic now, where he spends no money to make a big payoff.
I feel like you shouldn't have to spend a lot of money on a horror movie.
Because horror movies are cheap in general. It's just man in a costume kill people.
If you're gonna have a budget for a horror movie, I feel like they should spend it on practical effects, because that's always what looks the best.
I don't know. I feel like...
That's just me as a horror fan.
For me, if you're making a horror movie, all your money has to go to what your scare is.
Well, yeah, the practical effects.
Well, not even the practical effects, like, your monster. Because, like, that's my problem with, like, Michael Myers and Jason and all that shit. It's like...
I mean, everybody thinks they're hot nowadays, which is... It makes the money now, but it's probably the complete opposite of what they were thinking originally.
But even before when they were actually supposed to be scary, like, to me, I look at them and I'm like, okay, you got big man with a white mask, and then you got other man with a gray mask, and it's so uninspired, and it's like the lamest shit in the world. But then you look over at, like, like, bad example again, but FNAF, and you have, like, Ennard, and you're like, oh, dude, crazy wire thing with weird clown mask.
I remember my dad saying that Nightmare on Elm Street scared him, like, one of the most things that scared him, because, I don't know, Freddy was scary about the dreams and stuff.
But Freddy has a way better costume than, like, those two, like Jason and Michael Myers to me.
It's a little bit scarier than, like, Knife Man.
It's
Wolverine with a ball sack face.
I fucking hate just basic ass killers in horror movies. What's the... Why am I thinking Saw? No, not Saw. Fuck, Scream.
Okay.
Where it's just like, okay, basic costume, put a mask on him, give him a knife. And that's like 90% of horror icons, and it's so fucking lame to me.
But my friend, growing up, the movie that scared her the most was Chucky, which I thought was funny. And it was apparently there was a lot of people for around my age, but we were kids at the time, so.
By the way, we're over the hour marker if you want to.
No, I'm okay.
I guess we can go to our final topic for today then.
Did I have anything else to say? I just, I guess on a final note, I really like finding films that can actually make me feel something when it comes to, like, horror stuff. 'Cause, like, Doki Doki, the Sayori scene, that, like, gave me chills for, like, a week.
Really?
Not, like, a week, but, like, I just thought it made me feel something.
That's not the one that gets me in Doki Doki. I think, like, not the initial stabbing of herself that Yuri does. It's when she's sitting down by her desk bleeding out, and you have to hit the fast forward button and you watch her decay.
Huh.
And I was like, oh, that's fucking... And, like, all the text when you're fast forwarding is, like, weird code shit.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
I don't know. Sayori's just... Natsuki's was really lame. I don't remember if she had anything...
She breaks her neck and just runs at you.
Yeah. She was really lame.
I think it's because...
Her death, I guess. I liked...
I think it's because, like... Story-wise, she's, like, the most not connected to anything.
Yeah.
Because Sayori's, like, the initial death, plus in the ending, I guess spoilers for Doki Doki, she comes back and she has, like, the same ability that Monica has.
Yeah.
Monica's obviously the lead, and then Yuri is connected because she is technically the main antagonist.
Yeah. But, I really love films that can make me think or feel something for a little bit instead of just like, huh, that guy got stabbed. Like the film that I just watched, Midori, the one thing that I do remember from it is the strangely well animated scene about puppies, which I will not get into. I just, even though it's fucked up, I love horror stuff that can make me like squirm, make me think about it long afterwards. Like the Human Centipede.
We're not talking about that in
The
this
Human
podcast.
Centipede.
We're not talking about that in this podcast.
Although I love, like,
See,
Halloween, I love all that. There's not a lot of scenes that
What gets me spooked is, like, very minor things that aren't a really big deal. Like, for instance, having this door open is actually making me weirdly scared right now because I just see there's darkness outside in that door. Yeah. And looking at it, in my peripheral vision, I keep feeling like I'm seeing, like, a spook-ass hand or some shit. Or when I'm at work and it's like the middle of the night and nobody's in the entire school building and it's like you're just like, oh, did I hear something? Or is that just myself? And it's just like it's the anticipation that something could happen. Yeah. That's what's going to scare you.
Yeah. That's why I hate like the dark. I hate being alone. At least not with Hachi or without Hachi or some sort of animal or something like that. But yeah, like, I'm really excited to go through those list of films that I was given to see if they can impress me or, you know, not impress me, if you know what I mean. Just make me really uncomfortable.
There's a very small amount of horror movies I actually enjoy because they're all so fucking boring to me.
If any of those are actually scary or, you know, that make me feel disgusted in the way that is rare, I might show them to you.
Maybe only show it to me if you really think it's revolutionary, because...
Yeah, that's what I mean, because I have a feeling half of this shit isn't going to be anything.
Yeah, but even if you like it, I feel like don't show it to me unless it, like, actually blows your mind.
No, I know. The only reason I wanted to watch Megan is Missing with you is because I wanted to, like, kind of surprise myself, or leave it up to... Well, I can't think of the phrase that I'm thinking. I wanted to not spoil myself if it was good or not.
Anyway, final topic. So this is kind of a weird one that I thought of.
Okay.
But it is sort of because Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
But it's mostly because of Halloween.
Oh.
So do you think that schools should have the day off for Halloween? Because Thanksgiving gets a day off as well as Christmas, and they're all kind of in the same realm of like end of the month, end of the year holidays that are all three celebrated worldwide.
Yes and no. I feel like Thanksgiving and...
Because I feel like I can make the argument that Halloween has kind of the... Like, I feel like each holiday from the three in that kind of section all are a building block for the next one. Like, fucking Halloween, you're with your family if you're a little kid.
Candy.
You're with your family if you're a little kid, and yeah, you eat candy and shit, whatever, and you go house to house and pumpkins. And then the next one, you're with your entire family, but it's not for, like, kind of like a go to other neighbors' house. You're just together as a family. Mm-hmm. And then Christmas is like, okay, you're celebrating with your family, and you're giving gifts to each other, and all this shit, and it's also from far away families that you may not see very often. Mm-hmm. And I feel like each one is a stepping stone for the other. So I feel like Halloween maybe should also get the day off just for that day, but not like a whole week like Thanksgiving does, or not like a whole 2 weeks like Christmas.
I don't know. It's been rare when Halloween actually lies on like a weekend, which I think is kind of funny. And if it's on the weekend, it's usually Sunday, which you have to go to school like right afterwards. I think it should have a day at least afterwards, just because, you know, kids, candy, they've probably been up really late past their bedtime getting candy, eating candy. I feel like teachers the next day shouldn't have to deal with that.
I think the main reason I find it so strange that most people don't have the day off for Halloween is because, like, out of the big holidays that you can think of, outside of Valentine's Day and Halloween, those are like the only two that I feel like are pretty much mostly worldwidely celebrated that don't get the day off for holidays. Like, Christmas does, Thanksgiving does, like, President's Day does, Martin Luther King Jr. Day does.
You mean America?
Sorry. That are celebrated, you know, here in the States that don't get the day off. Is like Valentine's Day and and Halloween, even though they're both pretty big.
I think it mostly has to do with religion and, like, national, like, holidays. Because, you know, government and stuff. I can't think of what I'm thinking of. But, like, nobody wants to, like, take a day off for Valentine's Day because it's stupid. Nobody wants to do it.
Yeah, but it's like a date type day. Like, I feel like even it has a theme enough to it. Because I honestly feel like if you combined Thanksgiving and Christmas, you'd get the exact same holiday. I feel like the only difference between Thanksgiving and Christmas is you get presents plus there's snow. That's literally it to me. It's the same kind of food, same kind of environment, really. It's just Thanksgiving, but better.
Yeah. But, you know, I honestly think that Thanksgiving should kind of be rebranded a little bit.
Rebranded how?
Just because of how, like, it started and what it represents.
Well, it should change, like, every holiday, though.
I know, but it's slightly...
More than half of them are based on blood or bad omens.
Yeah, but most people don't even care about those. They're just like, oh, I have the day off Monday.
I mean, that's how I feel about Thanksgiving.
I know, but most people are, like, looking forward to Thanksgiving. Most people are looking forward to Christmas and that bullshit. But, like, everything else is, like, a president, like, I declare this a national holiday. And then, you know, 20 years later, it's like, oh, yeah, I have the day off on Monday. Instead of, like, man, I can't wait for Christmas this year. I hope I get a red bicycle. You know, man, I can't wait for Christmas this year. I hope I get, like, some socks. I really need some socks. You know, it's not something, like, Labor Day or whatever isn't looked forward to as much as, like, Christmas.
Yeah. But that's also one day compared to, like,
President's Day, fucking, what's the other one?
No, I'm saying that's like one day off as opposed to Christmas where it's like, okay, you get the next 3 weeks off work, it's all paid for.
Yeah, but...
You're comparing, like Thanksgiving, to be honest, like I said, is on the same kind of tier as Christmas for me. It's just better because you get presents, but you still just get a week off of paid work.
It's probably because, like, for most things, it's kind of like the mid-season of everything. Like... Since you work out of school, it's the mid time for school. It's like it's the end of the first and second semester, and then afterwards it's the third and fourth semester of school. And the reason you're not there is because there's not kids. So, you know.
So, once again, my question, do you think Halloween should have the day off, yes or no?
Not really. I mean, as a kid, I would want there to be a day off, but, like, I feel like there's really not that much of a need.
Do you think for age group wise it could have the day off? Like, could you say all 1st through 5th grade get it off, but, like, high school and up doesn't?
Yeah, I can say that. Just because, like, kids stay up late and then they'll eat a bunch of candy.
I mean, teenagers will stay up late to do Halloween parties and shit and get drunk.
But they'll do that anyways, and
it's true.
It's kind of their responsibility to do that.
It's their responsibility to get drunk.
No, to, like, you know, whether or not eating candy, staying up late. As a kid, you're like, oh, I want to stay up late, and your parents are like, go to bed, and then, you know.
Yeah, okay. That's fair. I can agree with that.
Because a lot of the time for most people, it seems like past middle school, it's like, you can go to bed wherever you want, but you better get up for school, that sort of thing.
All right. And that's the podcast, and neither of us lost again.
Yeah.
I've won 2 in a row. Yeah, winning.
And haven't lost one. So I
you
went
lost
even
my
harder.
Heart.
Oh, okay.
Do you wanna say my name?
No.
Why not?
No.
It's my name.
I'm not gonna say it.
What's my name?
No.
Why won't you?
Prickly Pear.
Prickly Pear. I like that. That's good. Thanks for... Now we can do the outro together. Sorry, we're both very sick, but look forward to the Thanksgiving episode.
Yeah.
It's going to be very loud, and everyone should be there. Tomato, plum, strawberry, pear, mango, and...
Everybody.
And avocado.
Apple.
And tomato, and...
All that.
All those people.
And I sound even sicker than I did when we first began because we had a cut halfway through this because I got really sick And now this is the last day we can do it, so
Secret
we're here.
note to people who got this far in the podcast, but we cut like 3 different times. It's actually been like a day or two since we started this. So
Yeah.
see if you can find where the big cut was from when we took a day break.
I got really sick, so I apologize.
Anyway, thank you.
This has been Mongo.
Episode 4. Look forward to episode 5. Big episode 5. 5 is a perfect number for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. And
Also, sorry for blowing my nose throughout this entire thing and sniffling and having a nasally voice.
I've been Pear.
And I've been Mongo.
And we'll see you guys hear you guys next time.